A few videos ago here on the channel, guys, I showed you all Brazil had 3 capitals in its history. The first one was Salvador in Bahia from 1594 to 1763. The second one was Rio de Janeiro, exactly, from 1763 to 1960. And the third one is Brasilia from 1960 to the present day. But why did Rio lose its position as the capital? And why was Brasilia the chosen one? Let's learn about this together. And to help me, I have the honor to say Brad Zuka is gonna be also working with us on this video directly from studio number 2. Hello, Brad.
Thanks, Mark. It's after the intro.
Do you guys want to speak Portuguese? Have you ever thought of having a course of Brazilian Portuguese? Well, I have some news for you. We have created our own Brazilian Portuguese course. The name is Brasil Sem Legendas, which is Brazil Unsubtitled, like the name of the channel. I myself have written the story in the book and have created all the exercises, all the conversations that will guide you through learning this beautiful language of Brazilian Portuguese. Take a look at this video.
Que legal, Mark. Elas vão amar a surpresa.
Eu acho que sim. Além disso, passarei alguns dias ajudando obrar a preparar a nossas consultoria no Rio. Entrevistarei algumas pessoas para trabalhar com a gente. Organizarei o time e darei treinamento de vendas.
Send us a direct message on Instagram. The account appears right here. Don't miss this opportunity. Send us a message and guarantee your space in our agenda, in our course, to finally learn the Brazilian Portuguese and come to Brazil with knowledge of the language. Hello BU Nation, what's up? The construction of Brasilia was carried out during the government of Juscelino Kubitschek and lasted from 1957 to 1960. The transfer of Brazil's capital to the Central Plateau was part of a planning vision since the beginning of the Brazilian Republic. The construction of Brasilia became the great symbol of JK's developmentalist government. It is estimated that billions of dollars were spent to make the new capital viable, and there was a high human cost as well, as workers performed their duties under very poor conditions, unfortunately. The construction of Brasilia was part of the Plano de Metas, or the Goals Plan, designed to promote the country's growth and development. The construction of Brazil's new capital took place during the presidency of Juscelino Kubitschek, who governed Brazil from 1956 to 1961. Juscelino Kubitschek was one of the most well-known figures in the Partido Social Democrático, guys, or the acronym PSD, and had previously served as the governor of Minas Gerais. He was elected president after narrowly winning the 1955 election. Brazilian politics at the time, in 1950, or in the 1950s to be more specific, was very turbulent, guys. And 1955 was no exception, especially because conservative groups linked to the União Democrática Nacional, or the acronym UDN, were plotting a coup to prevent JK from taking office. The idea of a coup was so imminent that the Minister of War, Henrique Teixeira Lott, launched a counter-coup on November 11, 1955, ensuring JK's inauguration. Juscelino Kubitschek was elected on a developmentalist platform, emphasizing the need for Brazil to resume its path of economic growth, promising that the country would advance 50 years in 5. Actually, this became his slogan, growing 50 years in just 5. He won with 36% of the vote and took office on January 31st, 1956, guys. During his administration, Juscelino Kubitschek made massive investments to ensure Brazil's industrialization and modernization. His vision was summarized in the Plano de Metas, a modernization program launched on February 1st, 1956. The Plano de Metas outlined 31 goals to be achieved through public and private investments. These objectives focused on key sectors: electric power, transportation, infrastructure, heavy industry, food production, and of course, education. This plan led to the construction of roads and hydroelectric plants and contributed significantly to Brazil's industrial growth. Economically, the plan was a tremendous success, mainly due to the construction of the new capital, Brasilia.
The idea of relocating the capital to the interior of Brazil was not new. Even during the monarchical period, there were some discussions about it. With the proclamation of the Republic, this project became more concrete. The 1891 Constitution, the first of the Republican era, stated in Article 3 that a 14,400 square kilometers territory in the Central Plateau would be designed for the construction of a new capital. In 1892, the cruise mission was launched to study and demarcate land for the new capital. The cruise mission concluded its work in 1897. On September 7, 1922, President Epitácio Pessoa laid the foundation stone for the new capital in Planaltina. Later, Getúlio Vargas also ordered studies of the demarcated area. These were some of the initial efforts to transfer the capital to the country's interior. However, the project never advanced due to the enormous challenge of actually constructing the city. Financially, it was a complex endeavor, and politically, it could pose a risk to the reputation of anyone who attempted to execute it. Historian Jonathan Soares de Lima states that Brasilia's construction under JK was influenced by a question from a voter during the 1955 electoral campaign. Antônio Soares asked if JK would comply with the constitutional requirement to relocate the capital. This was based on Article 4 of the transactional provisions of the 1946 Constitution, which mandated the transfer of the capital to the Central Plateau. JK responded that he would follow the Constitution, and thus the idea of building Brasilia was born. It became the flagship project of his modernization plan.
In 1956, a proposal to build Brasilia and transfer the capital was submitted to the Congress. Despite opposition from the UDN, the project was approved under law number 2874 on September 19, 1956. That same month, the Companhia Urbanizadora Nova Capital, or Nova Cap as it was known, was established to oversee construction. Israel Pinheiro, a PSD congressman and trusted engineer of JK, was appointed as the head of Nova Cap. Other figures included Bernardo Sayão, the company's technical director, and Oscar Niemeyer, the head of the architecture department. To ensure the project's success, Juscelino Kubitschek surrounded himself with technicians and specialists he had previously worked with when he was a mayor of Belo Horizonte and later a governor of Minas Gerais. He also used the media extensively to create a positive image of the project, public support. Once Nova Cap was established, it launched a competition to determine the urban design of the new capital. The contest received 26 entries, and on March 16, 1957, Lúcio Costa was declared the winner. According to researcher Lara Moreira Alves, Costas' project won because it planned a modern city with monumental aesthetics. The four key figures behind Brasilia's construction were: number one, of course, Juscelino Kubitschek, the president of Brazil at the time, Israel Pinheiro, director of Nova Cap, Oscar Niemeyer, the architect of the project, and Lúcio Costa, the urban planner. For 3 years, workers from all over Brazil migrated to Brasília to help build the city. With a strict deadline to inaugurate the city on April 21, 1960, the construction process was intense. The workers, primarily from the Northeast, became known as candangos. Numerous reports highlight the poor working conditions and the hardships faced by those who built the capital, unfortunately. Throughout the construction, guys, the president spared no expenses, a decision heavily criticized by the opposition. Historians Lilia Schwartz and Eloisa Starling note that the UDN condemned the project for its monumentality, urgency, and skepticism over its completion within JK's term.
Brasilia was officially inaugurated on April 21st, 1960, marking the transfer of the capital from Rio de Janeiro to the country center. The exact cost of its construction remains unknown, but estimates suggested it amounted to billions of dollars in today's currency. I'm not surprised. The Constitution of Brasilia embodied JK's vision for modernizing Brazil. However, historian Thomas Skidmore suggests that it also served as a distraction from the government's issues, diverting attention from pressing problems like inflation, lack of university spaces, and demands for agrarian reform. The date was chosen to honor Tiradentes, a national hero of Brazilian independence, who was executed on April 21st, 1792. This added a symbolic layer of patriotism and renewal to the inauguration. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brad. Guys, thank you all for being with us up until now. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little part of the history of Brasilia. If you like this kind of videos, if you want to see more videos about the history of Brazil, please leave your comments and eventually suggest what part of the history of Brazil you would like to see. Maybe something you have always wanted to know but never found information. We are here to educate you on this. Thank you very much. Smash the like button if you like this video. It's gonna be awesome if you do this. Also subscribe to the channel, and remember, we have 3 categories here on this channel. If you want to support us even more, please consider becoming a member, becoming part of this BU Nation that grows a little every day. In the meantime, I'm gonna leave you 2 suggestions of videos here. This first one is about how the hot dog in Brazil is made and how different it is from the American version. And this other one is when we visited the old palace of Getúlio Vargas, who was the president of Brazil in the 30s. So it was in Rio de Janeiro and it was amazing. Guys, thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Brad, thank you very much. Bye-bye.